Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Let's all stand up and sing, shall we? Yes, we shall. And here we go. Rise up, oh my soul. 1, 2, 3. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Let the Spirit flow. Let it flow. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Show me the kingdom wherever I go. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Let the Spirit flow. Let it flow. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Show me the kingdom wherever I go. Show me, Fred. Oh my soul. Come on, y'all. Rise up, oh my soul. Yeah. Rise up, oh my soul. Let the Spirit flow. Let it flow. Oh, yeah. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Yes. Show me the kingdom wherever I go. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. That's right. Rise up, oh my soul. Let the Spirit flow. Let it flow. Rise up, oh my soul. Rise up, oh my soul. Come on, show me the kingdom wherever I go. I feel the Spirit moving in me. I feel the Spirit moving in me. Joy. I feel the joy moving in me. 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 Love. I feel the love moving in me. 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 I feel the Spirit 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 moving in me.
Give yourselves a hand. Yeah.
Thank you, Terry and Fred and James. Good morning, Unity Church of Overland Park. I'm Reverend Jackie Fernandez, and I'm joined this morning.
I'm Lily Sandberg. I am your ministerial intern.
Awesome. Good morning. Welcome, Lily. Reverend Eileen is visiting her grandchildren in Houston this week, and so we bless her as she, if you have seen any of her pictures on Facebook, you know, as she is just having a heart-filled time and a really special time together. So we bless you, Reverend Eileen, and your family as you have this sacred time together. Welcome, welcome, welcome this morning to those of you in the room and those of you tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. Lily is the one who is usually greeting you. Are you going to do that today too?
Absolutely, and Reverend Eileen is actually joining us virtually. So hi, Eileen.
She's here. Oh, so we can't say the other thing.
No, we cut that
Okay,
from the script.
We're gonna move ahead on the script on that part. Just kidding. I asked her if she was gonna tune in, and I think that's probably why she's tuning in, just because I asked.
Just to see what we were gonna say.
Just to see what we were gonna say, and now we're not gonna say. So, next. Also, on the welcome bus here, I have to acknowledge my dear friends in the front row, and I'm going to start with Imani, who is celebrating her 25th birthday. Welcome, Imani. These friends are joining us from Unity of Kansas City North, way up north, and we go way back, so I'm really pleased that you are here this morning and to celebrate your birthday. Elissa, who will be graduating this spring, is one of Lily's classmates, and a licensed Unity teacher, Paul Skian, who also happens to serve on the board at Unity Worldwide Ministries, so thank you all for being here this morning. All right, we also have a very special time that we want to create in this service. As you know, on Thursday we celebrated as a country Veterans Day. And I know there are some vets in the room. I know there are family members of vets in the room. And so we want to take a time right now in the service to honor you and to celebrate you. So if you or a loved one served in the United States Army, I invite you to stand or raise a hand.
And if you or someone you loved served in the Coast Guard.
Coast Guard, all right.
There we
We've
go.
got Coast Guard
Thank
represented
you.
in the back. And if you're tuning in online and you want to go ahead and add your presence in the comments to whatever branch or branches of the military, so anyone who has served in the U.S. Marine Corps. U.S. Marine Corps, all right.
There you go. And you or someone you loved who served in the U.S. Navy.
All right, we've got the Navy.
Thank you.
All right, and do we have the United States Air Force represented in the house? All right. There we go. All right, thank you to you and to your family members who have made that sacred, selfless dedication and service to our country and to the liberty that we are exercising right now to gather in spiritual community. So let's take this into our time of prayer. And we center in the one power, one presence in the universe, God, the source of all good. And we keep in our heart space our veterans, those who are represented here by our loved ones and those all over the nation. And we allow our love and appreciation today to influence the way that we as a nation collectively care for our veterans. Influence it for good as we continue to expand and increase the ways we show our appreciation for those who make that sacred, selfless dedication of service. We say thank you for stretching yourself, your being, in such an expression of care, love, and dedication. We allow the stillness to represent the infinite presence that blesses each and every one. We allow the quiet of the mind to be a place of peace within. And and we allow that peace to become a manifestation of peace in the world. For this is the true desire of everyone, of every soul, and of every nation. And so we say, thank you, God, for the possibility of peace. Thank you, God, for the possibility of unconditional love. Thank you, God, for the presence and the truth of oneness in which we live, we are held. And it is in this truth we serve. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. We love a good deep breath. And so in that breath, we can affirm one of our statements of truth. One of the things we know in unity is that our power of power is rooted in the tongue. And so when we say these words, we are speaking them in our power, in the truth that they are. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good.
Blessings, blessings, blessings.
Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Join us. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
And we are truly blessed always by you guys. Thank you so much, Fred and Terry and James and Terry Sturgeon. We are truly blessed in this church from all of these people. Reverend Jackie Fernandez, Eileen, wherever you are, Lily Sandberg, and Reverend Jackie today will be sharing with us the sermon Inside Out, the talk. I don't think they're sermons, but anyway, the talk Inside Out. We appreciate how you've been so supportive and respectful of each other during our friend COVID, and we affirm continued health and wholeness for everyone as we navigate our way through and do so with our primary focus being on the wellness of others. So we hope to see all of you next week. Oh, that's you, Patrick, sorry.
Yeah, jumping right in.
You're on.
All right, so as Pam was saying, we do hope to see you all next week at our Fall of Faith celebration and fundraiser. That will begin right after the service. So some of the things that you can look forward to there is Terry Swope. Yeah.
More blessings.
Yes, and also we're going to have the Taco Republic truck there where there's going to be wonderful food that you can buy and drinks. And also we auction off all the wonderful gift baskets that have been created by many of you. And you're going to hear some updates about all the Fall of Faith small groups that have been meeting all this time, and as well as a couple of fun fundraising activities for some special items that will be up for bid. And so please invite all your family and friends and coming out, and we're going to celebrate another wonderful Fall Faith. And also those of you who are bringing the gift baskets, please make sure that you bring those on Sunday by 9:30 a.m.
Okay, and we have several holiday services. The first of our special holiday celebration service will take place on Wednesday, November 24th, which is Thanksgiving Eve. It will be at 7:00 p.m. here. It will be our annual Thanksgiving Eve communion and candle lighting service. It's an opportunity to ground ourselves in gratitude as we enter into what is usually a very busy holiday season. So please join Reverend Carla McClellan, Reverend Eileen Stulak, Fred Albers, our prayer chaplains and vocalist, Joel Morrison. The service will be here in the sanctuary and will not be live streamed. In addition to that service, there is one offered on Sunday evening, December the 12th at 7 o'clock p.m. This will be a healing light service, which is offered often in other venues during the holiday season, and for those who may be experiencing grief, sadness, or loneliness, and for all of us to gather in loving support. Reverend Jackie will lead us into a sacred time and space to be supported in any grief and sadness that can often be present for us during the holidays. So that's December the 12th in the evening.
And we can expect that to be a wonderful sacred gift for everyone who attends. So now let's take a moment to connect our hearts and share in the joint vision statement of the Unity Movement, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening.
Shared spiritual awakening. We say those words and we hear those words, and one of the ways that we do that in Unity is through prayer. Unity is a prayer ministry, and we have some incredible prayer chaplains in our community who, whether you know it or not, are always holding you in prayer. How does that feel? Always holding you in prayer. It's kind of incredible. One of the ways that we get to do that is by having two of our beautiful prayer chaplains, Ruth Ann and Donna Sherman, here today. They're in the blue stoles. And if you have a specific prayer request, we have our prayer box up here. And so that prayer request, we know in the words of Richard Rohr with the book that we are studying right now, that prayer is for us. Those words are for us. It is a catalyst for God to do God's work, answering our prayers maybe more than we have ever even known them to be true. The other way that we get to powerfully transform this world is by sinking in to the abundant well that is God. And the way that we do that is by giving. So if there is a gift that you have been waiting to share with this ministry, your time, your talent, your treasure, we are so excited to have it. Because when we know that we give, that is made tenfold in the world. So thank you so much. Donna, if you would come up and help me. The prayers that are coming to this box, the prayers that are only for us, the prayers that will be shared, we get to hold those in sacred confidence right now. And so we bless, just take a moment to breathe in a blessing for anything that is in your heart that may need some prayer support. It could be yourself or someone in community. If there is a prayer that is on your heart, this is the moment to say thank you. Thank you, God. It is in the care and keeping of God. And now in that same energy, in that same presence of God's abundance, knowing that we are cared and comforted for, we get to share of our financial gifts with this ministry. And so we take a moment to affirm our abundance blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful. And so it is.
You can look to the stars for your next encrypted clue. You can stand idly by, waiting for someone to tell you what to do. But you will wait, and you'll hear nothing, and you'll be mystified as to what went wrong. But when you wait, I know that something make you realize for too long. It is beautiful if you make it so. God is with you all the time. It is wonderful if you let it flow. You'll find joyfulness in time. You are searching for your destiny. You are looking to be free. It will happen once you finally know that you and God alone will make it so. Sometimes it's hard to look inside and figure out what's going on. It can be hard to decide what is right for you and what is wrong. But after all, God created you and knows what you dream of getting out of life. And after all, it's not a lucky few that get to see the man of God's life. For it is beautiful if you make it so. God is with you all the time. It is wonderful if you let it flow. You'll find joyfulness in time. You are searching for your destiny. You are looking to be free. It will happen once you finally know. Only God and you alone will make it so. 'Cause you've got the gift of life, and it's better to decide to make the most of every day. Just think you are the gift of life. It's in your hands to make it right. All the while, God knows the perfect way. It is beautiful if you make it so. God is with you all the time. It is wonderful if you let it flow. You'll find joyfulness in time. You are searching for your destiny. You are looking to be free. It will that you and God alone will make it so.
Thank you, Terry. Boy, you put a song by Daniel Nahmod in the hands of Terry and Fred, and it delivers. I mean, you just feel your heart just peeled wide open. If you make it so. So I'm going to give a shout out to one of our small group leaders, Allison Elliott, and I'm going to use her sort of call to order for her meeting. And she's probably watching online and starting to giggle. Let's get naked. I waited till the last Sunday to do that. The Naked Now. We are in the last 3 chapters this week. So what an adventure this has been, yeah? Yeah. And, you know, these last 3 chapters, just like every week, could be a series unto themselves. Am I right? I mean, to say, and then Richard Rohr, Father Richard Rohr, chapter 22, the very last chapter. And if you were paying attention, he told us in one of the earlier chapters, I think maybe 4 or 5, that he was going to do this. In the very last chapter, he shreds the law of attraction. And I'm here for it, you know? It's a really good calling out to one of Unity's and New Thought's foundational teachings. And not because he's telling us we're wrong and he's right. It's not that kind of a calling out. It's a calling up into clarity. And if you sit down and talk with any number of New Thought teachers who've been working with the law of attraction for a long time, yeah, he's right. And sometimes when we talk about any of our spiritual principles, we get a little lazy and we just say kind of the watered down version of what it is. And I think that's what he's really speaking to. Because what he calls out is actually the way we teach it. It just gets watered down and kind of lost. So people who aren't in it, who aren't in New Thought and really hearing the detailed teaching of it on an ongoing basis, might be looking from afar at our watered down version of it, made popular by The Secret, that it's about manifesting parking spaces. Because as spiritual beings, this is really what we long for, right? Rock star parking. We're going to use all of this holy godness in us to get a good parking spot. Yes. I mean, it's a little embarrassing, maybe. A little, you know, misuse of power would be like taking I don't know, give me a sports car, a Mustang, into the school zone, right? There's so much unwielded power within, not power over or power above, but power within. And I'll tell you the mystic, because this book is all about learning to see as the mystics see. Our Unity mystic, Myrtle Fillmore, Mama Myrtle. She says it like this: we are to cease depending on outer material avenues for prosperity, because when we look to the outer, we look away from the one resource within us. When we look to the outer, we forget. That's why this talk is called Inside Out. It's all about these last 3 chapters, living from the inside out. Now, the first of the 3, chapter 20, is all about paradox. Ooh, paradox. It's fun. Like that's the juiciness of any kind of thinking. And so let me give you a real, a common paradox. If there's one thing I know, it's that I know nothing at all. Paradox. How can both things be true? If there's one thing I know, then, and it's that I know nothing at all, well, you know, and if you want to get real meta about it, if there's one thing I know that it's I know nothing at all, that's actually 2 things. So now it's not nothing, it's not 1, it's 2. Paradox. Jesus of Nazareth, fully human, fully divine. Paradox. Candace, fully human, fully divine. Paradox. Donna, fully human, fully divine. We are living paradox. We are walking contradictions on so many levels, aren't we? So learning to see as the mystics see is all about being able to hold this space for paradox. It's not about, as Rohr says, we think and we sort of diminish spiritual practice from any faith tradition to a call to blind faith. You just got to believe this set of spiritual framework, this set of tenets, this dogma, and then we get what we want, or we live our best life, or we get enlightened, whatever the outcome that we're looking for is. But it's not the calling of any religion to walk in blind faith. It's actually to develop a new way of seeing, a new lens that allows us to hold space for paradox, for the both and, for the human and the divine in us. And this is the heart of, we've been calling it throughout this book, non-dualism, right? To get out of the polarity thinking, and yet we're going to be in the polarity thinking. Paradox. It's both and we get to be that. We get to be fully human, and we get to be fully divine. And the path of the mystic is to see it both and to know it is holy. Not except this or even though that. It is one conversation. Many expressions of the divine. Thank you, God. But it is one God expressing. And that power is within us. So, law of attraction, so often distilled down to our thoughts create our reality, which is also unity principle. We co-create the world that we wish to see, be the change that you wish to see in the world. And your thoughts have the power, generative power, formative power, when paired with wisdom and imagination, to create the reality that you desire, your deepest desire. Yes, that's true. And it's so much more than that. And what Rohr says, it's like half a sentence. True, it's your response to the reality in which you live that you create. And that defines your reality. So, nobody in this room is responsible for the rampant racism we experience in this country. Everybody in this room is responsible for the rampant racism we experience in this country. Paradox. We didn't create it. You didn't create it. You didn't create it. But our response to the reality in which we live creates the ongoing reality in which we live. Is that clear as mud? It's not so simple as parking space, which is why I think it gets diminished to that, because outcome. Well, I pulled in and I drove around and I just wasn't centered enough, so I drove around the parking lot again and I got centered and I started just picturing myself in the perfect parking spot, and I got distracted because somebody pulled out in front of me, jerk, and so I drove around again. So what you're actually describing is 3 times around the parking spot before the one you wanted showed up. Well, guess what? You can do that anyway, right? Without intention, without spiritual failure for the times you got distracted by the jerk that pulled out in front of you. Do you see how we kind of make it up as we go along to sort of prove the thing that we're trying to do? So let's get out of all of that mental gymnastics and just be with what is. Perhaps the furthest parking space is the best parking space for you in that moment. I remember a time on a cold, windy, winter day in January, and it was kind of ice, just not even falling from the sky, but like crystallizing in the air, and brutal cold. And it was, I don't know why it was such a busy day. It might have been a Saturday at Target. This is not a fishing story at Costco, I promise you. I'm telling it exactly like it happened. I just happened to park way out. And I was thinking in my mind that I don't mind the cold, and so there are people who this is really frigid weather for, and so I'm just going to take a parking spot out here. That was really all there was to it, parked out there. I start walking, and I hear someone call, "Ma'am, ma'am," and I turn around, and there's a guy, he's a trucker who has his truck parked there. He spent the night in his truck because he broke down, had no power in his cell phone, and he needed to make a phone call to his boss to get help. And I just happened to be the person there. So had I been more self-interested, getting the closest parking spot, or more like, let's prove my spiritual acumen, because I'm a minister and I should be able to manifest the best parking spot every time. It's just a simple example of what might have been missed. Without even really noticing, just being present, which is what this book is all about, page after page after page of being present, without any pretense, without any expectation, but just in the naked now, knowing all wholeness in me, which means all oneness in me. And when I live from just that much, then it calls forth the wholeness in you. And when you live from just that much, it calls forth the wholeness in me and in everyone around you. This is why when you come across someone who is so peace-filled and centered, you just gravitate towards them. It's not because they're working the law of attraction on you and you're a chaotic person and all the drama you're bringing. It's because you're attracting more of what you want by moving yourself toward it. Because it's desirable and because you know something of it. And Rohr talks about that in chapter 22, I think. You know something of it, and when you have a glimpse of the thing you want, just a glimpse, that's enough. It's enough for you to bring into manifestation in your life. And in fact, it's the thing that will motivate you and drive you to bring a fullness of it. So if you are approaching the holiday season and you want it to be a joyful, peaceful time, and you're not feeling much of that. 1, you're not alone. 2, it's okay. And it doesn't mean you're going to fail, and it doesn't mean you're not going to get any of that peace or joy. But because you know something of what you want, you know what to bring forward. And you experience it, and you bring it forward by drawing it from you. And you might be thinking, but no, I'm the one who's bringing anything but peace. I'm the one who's bringing misery. I'm the one who's bringing sadness. So how can I bring the thing that I want? I need to get it somewhere. Paradox. No, you don't. It is already within you. Myrtle, when we look to the outer, we forget and we look away from the inner resource that is already in us. And so when you look to the outer, when you look like, I want peace, look at that family, they're so happy. Look at that person, they're always so joyful. They're walking Christmas spirit. I just need to get some of that. No, you don't. You need to get some of what you have. And right now, if you're not that full picture of joy that you want, if you're not the full picture of peace and stillness that you want, hold the vision. And as you hold the vision and you ground yourself in it, anything that is not that begins to fall away. It might hurt a little as it falls, because there's something in you that has been clinging to it for some kind of comfort. Paradox. It makes no kind of sense, the way we cling to the very things that make us miserable. Don't judge it, right? Get away from the polarity, good or bad, right or wrong. It just is, and we just allow it to fall away. And we are left nakedly in the presence of the one who is always living, moving, having its being in, through, and as us, and we begin to feel it. It begins to crystallize in us, and it begins to emanate that which we desire. sometimes you might feel like, but if I move or breathe or say anything, it'll go away. Then do it again. And then do it again. And then do it again. And give yourself that gift. We love to tell the story of Myrtle Fillmore and how she healed herself of tuberculosis, but we leave out the details of how she prayed 8 hours a day. It took 2 years, some would say more. Sometimes it's hard to piece away the folklore from the actual experience, but it was not an overnight healing. It wasn't she had a thought and she was healed. And that does happen. That absolutely happens. But when we're looking for what can I do, and this is my experience, and it doesn't look like that overnight in an instant healing, which I would say it rarely ever is. It's that overnight success that took many years in the making. It happens even in our own heart and soul. So we stay in the now. We stay naked, exposed, available to the one who created us, in the one who created us, in the one who is in this moment creating us. We allow clarity of focus to surround that which we desire. And anything that is not that, we just allow it to fall away. We allow it to be. We don't judge it. We don't keep our holy grip on it. We allow it to fall away. And the result is, as they say, parking space, peace, joy, clarity. It's so much more. It's knowing your wholeness. And when you walk in that knowing, and you move in that knowing, and you breathe in that knowing, you call it forth in everyone around you. And this is how we live our oneness. So this is the gift. The last chapter, it all comes down to this. Of this sacred experience that we have walked together as a community, the Naked Now. And so as you gather in your small groups, or if you're reading the book alone and you go through these final chapters, I invite you to just allow yourself time to reflect. Reflect on the movement in your own heart. Reflect on the movement in your mind. Allow yourself to move as the mystics move, with a new lens for seeing. Able to hold the paradox that you are, the walking contradiction that you are, and to hold it as holy, to hold it in your own wholeness and allow that to be the one and only thing you know, and see what happens. Namaste.
You are searching for your destiny. You are looking to be free. It will happen once you finally know that you and God alone will make it so.
I begin to allow my heart and soul to open. I begin to allow myself to go within, to bring my consciousness to that divinity that sustains my life, my love. In the presence of the one, in the presence of the truth, all is healed, all is whole, all is well, all is well. In the presence of the one, in the presence of the truth, all is healed, all is whole, all is well, all is well.
And in this space of all is well, we begin to find a rhythm of our breath, the inhale and the exhale that serves our body. Knowing that with each breath, we connect deeper into this space. With each inhale, we settle into our bodies. With each breath out, we are grounded in spirit. And we turn within to that sacred place within us, that inner sanctuary of our heart that is always there. And we get to be in this naked now and ask, what is mine to do? Who am I to be? And in that space of our heart, in that space of the breath connected to spirit, we allow ourselves to be open and available to the flow and the presence of God, the good, that is here right now. And so for this next moment, these next few moments, we get to be in the space of question. Spirit, who have I come here to be? God, what have I come here to do? The space of spirit that we can connect to is always within us. And so if there was a word or a phrase or an answer that came through for you today, know that that is no mistake. It is absolutely placed there by the divine mind which we call God. And if you are still waiting for who you are and what is yours to do, thank you for remaining open. And we take a moment to connect back into that holy breath. As we take a moment to breathe in love and breathe out love. And we breathe in joy and we breathe out joy. And we breathe in peace and we breathe out peace. And we breathe in God and we breathe out God. And so it is.
In the presence of the truth, all is healed, all is whole, all is well, all is well. Sing along. In the presence of the one, in the presence of the truth, all is healed, all is whole, all is well, all is well. In the presence of the one, in the presence of the truth, all is healed, all is whole, all is well, all is well.
We're going to do that again.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. This day was made for freedom. This day was made for peace. And this day ought to last forever. What a sweet release. How can it be we're still so lost? How can it be we live in this way? At such a cost, they don't let fear pin you to the floor. Oh, surrendering you so much more. Open up your heart, yeah, that's what it's for. That's what it's for. this world is full of wonder, and this world is full of strife. Well, you get to share it all with those you hold dear in life. And all the folks outside your door, it doesn't matter if they're rich or poor. Come on, show them all your love, 'cause that's what it's for. Oh, that's what it's for. It's up to you and it's up to you, yeah. Over and over and over again, yeah, I find it's true. That's the mystery we all explore. It's the simple truth you can't ignore. So sanctify your life, sanctify your life. Sanctify your life, that's what it's for. Oh, that's what it's for. Oh, and that's what it's for.
Wow, you're even more of a gift now than you were before. Thank you so for sharing. We have many, many people to thank who make this service possible today. Staff and volunteers. We have prayer chaplains, greeters, ushers and name tag volunteers, and our AV volunteers. And also we have setting all this up and taking all this down. The flowers were sent by a congregant to Reverend Jackie this week in appreciation of her service. So aren't they beautiful? And your way out today, would you please take care of your name tags and be sure to drop them in the box.
All right, now let us please state together the mission statement of Unity Church of Overland Park, which is, Unity Church of Overland Park transforms lives and empowers people to make a difference in the world. Also, please join us next week. It will be Ask a Minister Sunday. So this lesson will consist of Reverend Jackie, Reverend Eileen, our ministerial candidate, Lily Sandberg, answering questions that we submit. So please submit any questions that you have to Reverend Jackie by this Wednesday so that those questions can be answered next Sunday. So now let's welcome in our children.
We have children.
Are there children?
We don't have any children today.
All right.
Darn. Okay. So it's up to you. Oh,
We sing?
sure.
You want to tell them what to do? Do you want to tell them what to do, or you
To
sing to them
sing? No, you
Yes.
go right ahead.
now? All right. You want to stand up?
Yeah, please stand up and join us in our peace song. Give them a little.
In our
All right.
peace song. I got you.
Peace on earth, the peace that was never
sweater.
It's the sweater, right?
The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine.
Yes, you are. Go make it a good week.